The stars stretched endlessly above the human ship Odyssey, their light faint and cold against the darkness of space. Captain Aaron Blake stood on the bridge, staring out at the distant nebula that shimmered like a curtain of fire. Humans had traveled far beyond their solar system now, exploring planets no one had ever set foot on, but tonight the emptiness felt heavier than usual, as if the universe itself was holding its breath. Aaron rubbed his temples, thinking of the long days of travel, the crew who had grown close like family, and the mission that had led them to this remote system. A routine survey of an uncharted planet was supposed to be simple: scan, record, move on. But something about this world felt different. The instruments on the ship had gone silent, recording strange energy readings that didn't match anything in human databases. "Captain," Lieutenant Sarah Kim said, her voice calm but tense, "the sensors are picking up movement on the planet's surface. It's large. Not like any animal we've seen. It's intelligent, I think." Aaron's brow furrowed.
"How many?"
he asked, stepping closer. Sarah hesitated. "One, but it's injured, and it's coming toward our landing zone." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Humans had encountered alien life before, but intelligent creatures were rare and dangerous. Yet the readings suggested this being was alone. Something in Aaron stirred, a mixture of curiosity and caution. He gave the order to prepare the shuttle. When they landed, the surface of the planet was unlike anything they had expected. Rolling hills of soft crystal stretched into the horizon, reflecting the pale green light of the distant sun. The air was breathable but faintly metallic, and in the distance they saw it, a massive figure limping across the hills, its skin glinting like polished silver. Its eyes, large and luminous, turned toward them, filled with both recognition and desperation. Aaron approached cautiously, raising his hands in a universal gesture of peace. "We come in friendship," he called. The alien paused, studying him for a long moment, then fell to one knee, its massive frame trembling. I need your help," the alien said in a strange but clear voice, translated instantly by the ship's universal translator. "I am Yalrin of the Cathari. My time is ending. My people, my mission, they will fail without you." The crew froze. A dying alien had never spoken to humans like this before, and yet something in Yalrin's presence felt urgent, powerful, almost noble. Aaron felt a strange pull, as if the fate of this being, and perhaps something far greater, was now resting on his shoulders. "What do you need from us?" Aaron asked carefully. Yalrin looked down, his breathing heavy. "I have 2 companions, loyal and skilled, who are now without purpose. They are part of me, part of my life's work. I entrust them to you. Guide them, protect them, and continue what I cannot." Aaron blinked, uncertain what to say. He had expected alien artifacts, technology, knowledge, but companions? Living beings who had survived wars and journeys across the stars? Yalrin's eyes shone brighter with a mix of sadness and hope. "Why us?" Sarah asked, stepping forward. "Why humans?" Yalrin's gaze softened. "You are more than you seem. Even in your weaknesses there is strength. You create, adapt, fight, and endure. That is why you were chosen. That is why I trust you." The words sank deep into Aaron's mind. Humans had always thought of themselves as fragile in the cosmic scale, small and insignificant. But here was an advanced species recognizing something unique in them, something worth entrusting the survival of lives and legacies to. Yalrin's voice grew weaker. "Take them, before it is too late. Teach them what they must know. And when the time comes, they will help save more than just my people. They will save the universe, or at least give it a chance." With a shuddering breath, Yalrin collapsed. The translator continued to relay his fading words. The crew rushed forward, carrying him back to the shuttle, but it was already too late. His silver skin dimmed and his large, luminous eyes closed for the last time. Silence fell. For a long moment, no one spoke. The weight of what had just happened pressed down on them. Aaron felt the enormity of the responsibility pressing against his chest. He turned to the companions Yalrin had mentioned. 2 beings, humanoid in shape but clearly not human, had stepped out from the shadows of the crystalline hills. Their eyes were wide, curious, cautious, and for a moment, human fear and alien grace mixed in a way that made Aaron feel both awe and determination. "This is the beginning," Aaron said quietly, almost to himself. "We have been chosen, and we cannot fail." As the crew and their new companions boarded the shuttle, leaving the glowing hills behind, Aaron could feel the first sparks of something extraordinary. The universe had always been vast, dangerous, and indifferent. But tonight it had shown him a glimpse of trust, of connection, and of a future where humans were more than survivors. They were champions of hope. The stars outside seemed brighter now, and for the first time in a long journey, Aaron felt ready for the impossible. The shuttle hummed softly as it lifted from the crystalline surface, carrying the crew and the two alien companions across the pale green sky. Aaron sat at the controls, his hands steady, but his mind was racing. These beings, tall, lithe, and glowing faintly, were unlike anything humans had encountered. Their presence was calming yet commanding, and Aaron knew that understanding them quickly could mean the difference between survival and disaster. One of the aliens stepped forward. Its voice was soft, melodic, and perfectly understandable through the translator. "I am Virel," it said. "And this is Kayla. Yalrin entrusted us to you. We will serve, but we must learn your ways, your thinking, your world." Aaron nodded. "We'll help you. But first you need rest, and so do we." Sarah Kim glanced at him. "Captain, what exactly do we have here? Advanced soldiers? Scientists? Ambassadors?" Aaron shook his head. "We don't know yet. But whatever they are, Yalrin trusted us to guide them. That's enough for now." Virel and Kyla settled into the shuttle's cabin, their eyes scanning everything with curiosity. Even their posture suggested intelligence, not just instinct. The crew watched them closely, trying to gauge if they posed any danger. But every movement, every glance felt purposeful and calm. It was as if they had lived 1,000 years and yet were willing to trust humans completely. As the shuttle crossed the atmosphere, Aaron's mind drifted to the readings they had picked up from the planet. Energy surges, unusual gravitational waves, and strange signals that seemed almost like messages. Whatever Yalrin had been doing, it was more than simple exploration. Something important had been left behind, and Aaron could feel it waiting, hidden in the stars. The shuttle docked with the human ship, and the crew carefully transferred the aliens to the main quarters. There, Virel and Kayla began to observe, learning quickly. They mimicked human movements, studied equipment, and asked questions about the ship's systems. Aaron was impressed. In less than a few hours, they had adapted to technology that took human cadets months to master. "This is extraordinary," Sarah whispered. "They're learning faster than any human I've trained." Aaron nodded, but his thoughts were elsewhere. The universe had a way of testing humans at every turn, and he sensed that this gift, Yalrin's companions, was also a challenge. They were powerful, yes, but they were also inexperienced in human strategy, in understanding risk the way humans did. That combination could be deadly or unbeatable. Days passed. The crew introduced Virel and Kayla to human customs, foods, and languages. In return, the aliens taught them subtle things about the universe: how to sense energy fields, how to perceive the faint presence of distant stars, how to notice patterns in chaos. Aaron realized that these skills could be invaluable in the dangers ahead. One morning, as Aaron trained with Virel in the simulation room, an alert sounded across the ship. "Captain, you need to see this," Sarah's voice called urgently. They rushed to the observation deck, where the view of deep space was dominated by a massive, shadowy shape. A fleet of alien ships, sleek and dark, appeared on the scanners, moving with precision toward their location. Aaron's stomach tightened. Humans had faced hostile aliens before, but these ships, whatever their origin, were advanced and their numbers were overwhelming. Virel stepped forward, analyzing the fleet. "These are the Dralvins," it said, its voice steady but concerned. "They seek control of this sector. Yalrin's energy signals would have drawn them here. If they find this ship, your species, and mine, will be in danger." Aaron's mind raced. "We can't outrun them, they're faster. But maybe we can outsmart them." Kayla touched the console, pointing to a small cluster of gravitational anomalies nearby. "They're hidden roots. You can use them to your advantage. Humans are clever. I can see why Yalrin trusted you." Aaron smiled grimly. "Then we have to be clever. Everyone prepare for maneuvering. This is our first real test." As the ship adjusted course, weaving between the invisible distortions of space, Aaron felt a surge of pride. Humans had always faced impossible odds, and now, with allies unlike any other, they had a chance not just to survive, but to succeed. Virel and Kayla worked alongside the crew seamlessly, anticipating moves and providing insight into Dralvin strategies. The aliens' knowledge combined with human intuition created a synergy neither species could have achieved alone. Aaron realized that Yalrin's gift was more than companions. It was a bridge between worlds, a proof that humans were capable of greatness on a cosmic scale. Hours passed in tense coordination, each maneuver bringing the ship closer to safety. Finally, as the Dralvan fleet slipped past without noticing them, a cheer erupted among the crew. Aaron allowed himself a moment to breathe. Humans had survived, and more importantly, they had thrived with their new allies. Varel approached him quietly. "You honor Yalrin's trust," it said, "but this is only the beginning. Greater challenges await." Aaron nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. He glanced at the stars outside. The same stars that had once seemed distant and cold now seemed full of possibility. Humans were small, yes, but in their determination, ingenuity, and courage, they were more than anyone expected. And with companions like these at their side, Aaron knew they could face whatever the universe had in store. The crew of the Odyssey had barely caught their breath after evading the Dralvan fleet when new readings appeared on the ship's sensors. A strange energy signal, pulsating with a rhythm unlike anything the crew had seen, was coming from a planet in the next system. Its pattern was irregular yet unmistakable, almost like a message waiting to be decoded. Aaron studied the readings with a frown. "What do you make of it?" he asked Virel, who was hovering over the console, analyzing the data with intense focus. Virel's eyes glimmered. "This energy is old, older than most stars in this region. It carries knowledge, warnings, and perhaps a choice. Whoever created it wanted someone to find it." Kayla stepped closer, her voice calm but firm. "Yalrin would have known about this. He must have intended for humans to reach it. This planet, it is important." Aaron nodded. "Then that's our next stop. Prepare the shuttle. We need to see this for ourselves." The journey to the planet was tense but quiet. No ships appeared to challenge them, but the crew remained alert. Every member knew that danger could come without warning, and the lessons from the Dralvan encounter were fresh in their minds. When the shuttle entered the planet's atmosphere, the crew gasped. The world was covered in vast plains of crystalline structures, like frozen towers of light stretching as far as the eye could see. Streams of liquid silver reflected the green sky above, and strange glowing plants moved gently as if breathing. "This place," Sarah whispered. "It feels alive." Aaron nodded, his eyes scanning the horizon. "Not just alive, intelligent. And it's calling to us." They landed near a large formation that pulsed faintly, the energy reading spiking sharply as they approached. Virel and Kayla stepped off first, their bodies glowing slightly in response to the planet's energy. They walked confidently, as if they understood the signals in ways humans could not. Aaron followed, feeling the subtle vibration of power beneath his feet. The closer they got, the stronger the sense of purpose became. Then at the center of the formation they saw it. A massive crystalline structure shaped like a tower but with branches extending in all directions, each branch humming with energy. It seemed to breathe, to pulse, and to wait. Virel placed a hand on the surface. "This is an archive," it said. "Not just information, but the essence of civilizations that came before." Yalrin studied this. He prepared it for someone who could understand and protect it. Aaron approached cautiously. "How do we access it?" Kayla's eyes shone. "With trust and cooperation. Your species is different. You rely on intuition, emotion, and willpower. That is why Yalrin brought us here." Aaron nodded. He looked at his crew, at Virel and Kayla, and felt a surge of pride. Humans had often been underestimated, their small size and fragile bodies seen as weaknesses. Yet here they were, chosen to inherit something extraordinary, something that could shape the future of countless worlds. They placed their hands on the crystal together, as Kayla instructed. A wave of energy surged through them, warm and vibrant, carrying visions, knowledge, and warnings. Aaron saw glimpses of planets in danger, civilizations on the brink of collapse, and weapons of unimaginable power. But amidst the chaos, he also saw humans rising, creating alliances, solving problems, and surviving against impossible odds. This is incredible," Sarah whispered. "It's like seeing the universe itself." Virel nodded. "It is, and it is yours to protect humans. Not just for your species, but for many others who cannot defend themselves." Aaron felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. The universe was vast and full of dangers they had not yet imagined. Yet he also felt something stronger: hope. Humans were capable of ingenuity, courage, and resilience. They could survive, adapt, and rise above challenges that would destroy other species. Suddenly, a shadow passed over them. Aaron looked up to see a group of Dralvan scouts approaching the planet, their ships moving with silent precision. The crew stiffened. Virel's eyes narrowed. "They have found the signal. They will try to take it," Aaron swallowed. "Then we fight. But not blindly. Use the planet, its energy, and our minds. This is our chance to show what humans can do." The crew dispersed, preparing defensive measures while Aaron coordinated with Virel and Kayla. They formed a plan, using the crystalline structures to amplify energy fields, creating barriers and illusions to confuse the Dralvans. Humans and aliens moved as one, each action deliberate, each decision reflecting a combination of intuition, experience, and courage. As the Dralvan scouts neared, they encountered a field of dazzling light and distortion, unable to navigate the complex patterns the humans had created. Aaron watched as his crew, guided by Virel and Kayla, outsmarted the enemy at every turn. The Dralvans faltered, confused and frustrated by strategies they could not predict. Hours later, the scouts retreated, leaving the planet and its secrets intact. The crew cheered quietly, knowing they had succeeded not by force alone, but by combining human ingenuity with alien insight. Aaron felt a surge of pride and relief. Humans had survived, but more than that, they had proven themselves worthy of Yalrin's trust. Virel and Kayla approached him. "This is only the beginning," Virel said. "Many challenges will come, but now you understand why Yalrin chose you. Your species is extraordinary." Aaron looked out at the crystal plains, the energy of the planet still humming beneath his feet. He felt a new sense of purpose. Humans were small in the universe, yes, but they were more than survivors. They were protectors, explorers, and champions. And with allies like these, there was nothing they could not face. The calm after the Dralvan retreat did not last long. As the crew of the Odyssey prepared to leave the crystalline planet, the ship's sensors detected another anomaly, this one much larger, moving rapidly through space. It was a massive, living construct, an artificial world shaped like a serpent coiling through the void. Its surface was dotted with energy sources and strange structures, pulsating as if it were aware of them. Aaron leaned over the console, squinting at the readings. "What is that?" Virel's eyes widened slightly. "It is not just a ship. It is a living fortress. Its intelligence is vast and it senses us." Kayla added, "We must be careful. Its intentions are unknown, but it responds to energy signals. The crystalline planet's pulse likely drew it here." Aaron felt a chill of tension. Humans had faced threats before, but nothing like this. The universe seemed to be testing them again, pushing them to the limits of their courage, skill, and unity. The living fortress changed course, moving directly toward them with terrifying speed. Aaron gave the order to prepare shields and defensive systems. "Everyone stay focused. We've survived worse and we're not alone this time." As the ship moved into position, Virel and Kayla worked alongside the crew, interpreting the construct's energy patterns. "It is studying us," Virel said, "trying to understand if we are threat or ally. Humans, it will respect ingenuity." "That is your strength," Aaron nodded. He knew what Virel meant. Humans were clever, adaptable, and unpredictable. They could think in ways no machine or rigid intelligence could anticipate. That was why Yalrin had trusted them, and why this living fortress might be persuaded rather than fought. The construct opened a channel, sending waves of energy toward the Odyssey. At first they felt like attacks, but Virel sensed otherwise. "It is communicating," Virel said. "It is testing us." Aaron studied the patterns, trying to decipher the rhythm. Slowly he realized that the energy pulses formed a sequence, questions, challenges, and trials of logic and coordination. He turned to his crew. "This is a test. We respond not with weapons, but with our minds and teamwork. Everyone, follow my lead." For hours the crew worked, solving the construct's challenges one by one. They manipulated energy fields, synchronized ship systems with the fortress's pulses, and demonstrated strategy that balanced creativity with logic. Virel and Kayla guided them, but it was Aaron and his crew's human intuition that allowed them to see patterns where others would fail. Finally, the construct paused, its immense body coiling slowly around the ship, but without aggression. Its energy pulses softened as if acknowledging their success. A voice resonant and alien echoed in their minds. "Humans, worthy." Your species surprises even the oldest intelligence. You may proceed. Your allies are honored to serve with you. Aaron exhaled, feeling both relief and awe. Humans had faced impossible odds and had succeeded. Not through brute strength, but through ingenuity, courage, and collaboration. He realized more than ever why Yalrin had chosen them. Humans were small. All yes, but in their minds and hearts they were giants. Kayla stepped forward. The construct will aid us. It recognizes your potential. But beware. The universe is vast and not all forces will be so willing to listen. Virel added. And the Dralvins are still out there. They will not give up easily. But now with this alliance you have an advantage. Aaron felt a renewed determination. They had gained knowledge, allies, and experience that no human had ever known before, and he could sense the growing bond between humans and the alien companions. Trust was forming. Not just between individuals, but between species. A partnership that could shape the future of countless worlds. As the Odyssey moved away from the coiled fortress, the crew reflected on what they had learned. Humans had often been underestimated, dismissed as fragile or limited. Yet time and again they had proved their resilience, their intelligence, and their spirit. The universe had shown them its wonders and dangers, and each trial strengthened their resolve. Aaron looked at Virel and Kayla, who now moved among the crew with ease, offering guidance and learning from human creativity in return. Yalrin was right, he said quietly. Humans are more than survivors. We can make a difference. We can rise above the impossible. Sarah Kim smiled. And now we have allies who can help us do it. Together we are stronger. Aaron nodded, watching the stars stretch endlessly before them. The living fortress pulsed faintly in the distance, a reminder that the universe was alive with intelligence, challenges, and opportunity. And he knew that whatever came next, whatever threat or adventure awaited, they would face it as humans had always faced the impossible, with courage, ingenuity, and unyielding spirit. The crew of the Odyssey prepared for the next leg of their journey, their hearts and minds strengthened by triumph, their bonds deeper than ever. They were humans, small but extraordinary, and they were ready for the universe. The Odyssey sailed through the stars, leaving the crystalline planet and the living fortress behind. Aaron Blake stood on the bridge staring at the endless darkness that stretched ahead. The crew had proven themselves in countless ways, evading the Dralvins, decoding the crystal archive, and passing the living fortress's trials. But Aaron knew this was only the beginning. The universe was vast and every signal could hide danger. Virel and Kayla moved among the crew, quietly observing and learning. Their presence was reassuring, yet it reminded everyone that the challenges ahead were not just about human courage, they were about unity, adaptability, and understanding. Aaron turned to them. What do you sense ahead? He asked. Virel's eyes glowed faintly. A disturbance. Something massive. A threat older than the Dralvins, yet younger than the crystalline planet's energy. It approaches quickly, and it will not stop. Kayla nodded. We have time, but only a little. Humans must prepare. Your ingenuity will be the key to survival. Aaron's stomach tightened. Humans had faced enemies before, but this felt different. This was not a fleet of ships or a single fortress. This was a force that seemed alive, a challenge that demanded more than just skill. It demanded strategy, creativity, and courage beyond measure. The ship's sensors began to pick up strange readings, a massive object moving through a nebula, its shape shifting almost like it was alive. The crew crowded around the displays, watching as the anomaly grew larger, a twisting, shadowed mass that absorbed light and seemed to distort space itself. What is it? Sarah whispered. Virel's voice was calm but urgent. It is a cosmic predator. It feeds on energy, life, and intelligence. If it reaches this sector, it could consume worlds. Yalrin would have feared it, and yet he believed humans could help stop it. Aaron squared his shoulders. Then we stop it. We've faced the impossible before, and we've survived. This is no different. The crew moved quickly, preparing defensive systems and energy amplifiers. Virel and Kayla guided them, showing ways to manipulate energy fields, use the ship's shields creatively, and turn the predator's movements against it. Aaron realized that Yalrin's gift, the alien companions, was more than guidance. They were teachers, helping humans unlock potential they didn't yet know they had. When the predator arrived, the Odyssey was ready. It moved through the nebula with terrifying speed, black tendrils of energy extending toward the ship. The crew's hearts pounded, but they remained focused, following Aaron's orders and the guidance of Virel and Kayla. "Deflect the pulses," Aaron shouted. "Use the shields in sequence, synchronize with the energy nodes." Humans and aliens worked in perfect harmony. Shields shifted. Energy pulses countered the Predator's attacks, and the ship moved with agility that seemed impossible for its size. The Predator roared through space, its immense form twisting and shifting, but the crew refused to panic. Kayla's voice broke through the tension. "Now, Captain, use the nebula's fields. Lead it into the energy vortex." Aaron's mind raced. He calculated, planned, and acted. The ship spiraled, drawing the Predator toward a swirling cluster of charged gases. Its tendrils lashed out, but the nebula's energy began to overwhelm it. The Predator's massive form shrank and twisted, struggling against the forces humans had cleverly turned against it. Finally, with a coordinated surge of energy from the Odyssey, amplified by Virel and Kayla's guidance, the Predator was trapped in the vortex. Its form shimmered and faded, dissipating into harmless streams of energy. The crew cheered, relief washing over them in waves. Humans had survived, and more than that, they had triumphed through ingenuity, courage, and teamwork. Aaron exhaled, feeling a deep sense of pride. Humans had always been underestimated, yet in the face of impossible odds they had proven themselves extraordinary. Yalrin's faith in them had not been misplaced. Virel stepped forward, bowing slightly. "You honor your species. Your courage and mind have saved countless lives today." Kayla smiled. "This is only the beginning. Many more challenges await, but now you know what humans can do. You are stronger than even you realize." Aaron nodded. "We'll face them. We will protect life, no matter how difficult the challenge. Humans don't give up." As the Odyssey continued its journey, the crew reflected on what they had accomplished. They were humans, small in the cosmic scale, yes, but capable of courage, ingenuity, and greatness. They had allies unlike any other, knowledge that few could understand, and the experience of surviving the impossible. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of danger and opportunity. Aaron knew that the universe was not forgiving, but it was also full of wonder. With his crew, with Virel and Kayla, and with the lessons Yalrin had left behind, they were ready for whatever came next. Humans had survived. Humans had triumphed. And humans were just beginning to rise. And somewhere in the vast darkness, the universe seemed to recognize it. The Odyssey was not just a ship. It was a symbol of hope, of courage, and of the extraordinary potential that lay within humanity. The Odyssey sailed deeper into uncharted space, the crew still buzzing from their victory over the cosmic predator. The stars outside stretched endlessly, but there was no time for complacency. Aaron Blake knew that the universe did not reward rest. Every challenge they had faced had been a test, and each one had prepared them for something greater. Virel and Kayla moved quietly among the crew, observing and offering advice when needed. They had learned much from humans in the short time since Yalrin's passing, but they still looked to Aaron for leadership. Humans had an unpredictability that aliens did not fully understand, a combination of intuition, creativity, and emotion that could turn even the direst situation into opportunity. Aaron studied the latest readings. A massive planet loomed ahead, its surface shrouded in thick storms and swirling energy. It emitted a powerful signal that seemed almost alive, pulling at the ship in subtle ways. "This planet," Virel said, "is not ordinary. It carries remnants of an ancient civilization, one that once controlled vast parts of this sector. Their technology, if harnessed, could shift the balance of power in the galaxy." Kayla's eyes glimmered. "But it is dangerous. The civilization left traps to protect their knowledge. Many have tried and failed to access it." Aaron felt a thrill. Humans had faced danger before, and each time they had grown stronger. "Then we are going to try. Prepare the shuttle." We go in cautiously. No mistakes. The shuttle descended through the turbulent atmosphere. Lightning arced across the sky, and the winds threatened to tear the small craft apart. The crew clung to their seats as Aaron guided them carefully toward a massive structure visible through the storm. It was a tower, ancient and metallic, rising high into the clouds, etched with symbols that glowed faintly. As they landed, Virel and Kayla stepped out first, moving with grace across the jagged terrain. The humans followed, feeling the raw energy that pulsed beneath their feet. Aaron could sense the weight of history here, civilizations that had risen and fallen, leaving knowledge behind for those who dared to seek it. The entrance to the tower was guarded by shifting energy fields. Aaron studied the patterns, recalling the lessons learned from the living fortress and the crystal planet. "This is a puzzle," he said. "We solve it together. Watch for patterns, communicate constantly, and trust your instincts." The crew worked as a single unit, analyzing symbols, adjusting energy conduits, and coordinating movements. Varel and Kayla guided them, but it was human intuition that made the final connections. Slowly, the field shifted, opening a path into the tower's interior. Inside, the walls pulsed with light and the air vibrated with stored energy. Aaron could feel the presence of minds long gone, watching and testing. The crew advanced cautiously, mapping each room and documenting the strange machinery. Every corner held potential danger, yet also incredible opportunity. Suddenly, the tower's defenses activated, a series of shifting platforms, energy traps, and moving walls. The crew had to think quickly, combining logic with intuition to navigate the treacherous interior. Aaron led them, coordinating movements with precision while Varel and Kayla amplified their efforts with alien knowledge. Hours passed, and the crew began to understand the tower's design. Each challenge tested not only their intelligence but their trust in one another. Aaron realized that humans had an advantage here: adaptability. While the ancient defenses were rigid, the crew's creativity allowed them to find solutions no machine could predict. Finally, they reached the heart of the tower, a chamber filled with floating energy spheres, each containing information about advanced technologies, star maps, and historical knowledge. Aaron's eyes widened. This is incredible. Yalrin would have wanted us to find this. The galaxy can be changed with this knowledge. Kayla stepped forward, her voice calm. And it will be changed. But remember, knowledge carries responsibility. You are now guardians, humans. Protect it wisely, Varel nodded. The trials of the past have prepared you for the trials ahead. Humans, your species is extraordinary. Yalrin's faith was well placed. Aaron felt a deep sense of purpose. Humans had survived impossible odds, learned from alien allies, and now carried the legacy of civilizations that had long vanished. They were no longer just explorers. They were protectors, innovators, and leaders. As the crew carefully cataloged the tower's knowledge and prepared to leave, Aaron looked out at the storm-ravaged sky. The universe was vast and unpredictable, full of dangers and wonders alike. But humans had proven time and again that they could rise to meet any challenge. He turned to his crew and the alien companions. "We've come far, but our journey is just beginning. Whatever the universe throws at us, we face it together. Humans can survive, adapt, and succeed where others fail. That is our gift, and it is our responsibility." The shuttle lifted from the ancient tower, the storm raging below, and the Odyssey continued its journey. Humans had inherited knowledge, allies, and experience unlike any other species. They had faced cosmic predators, living fortresses, and ancient challenges, and each time they had proven their strength, courage, and ingenuity. Aaron felt a quiet pride. They were humans, small yet extraordinary, and the universe had only begun to recognize their potential. With Varel and Kayla at their side, and the lessons of Yalrin guiding them, they were ready for the challenges yet to come. The Odyssey moved through the glittering void, carrying its crew, Varel and Kayla, toward the outer rim of the galaxy. The knowledge from the ancient tower had opened countless possibilities, but it had also drawn attention. A massive fleet appeared on the sensors, a coalition of hostile species, drawn by the same energy signals that had guided humans to Yalrin's gift and the ancient technology. Aaron Blake felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. This was the ultimate test. The universe had given humans allies, knowledge, and experience, but now it demanded action. Humans had to prove that they were more than survivors. They had to show that they were protectors, innovators, and champions of life. The fleet was massive, with ships of every size and shape, moving with precision and deadly intent. The crew prepared for battle, but Aaron knew brute force alone would not win this fight. They needed strategy, creativity, and courage, the very qualities that made humans extraordinary. Varel stepped forward. "This is the moment Yalrin prepared you for. The galaxy is watching. Your decisions now will determine the survival of many civilizations." Kayla added, "The fleet underestimates humans. That is your advantage. Use it wisely." Aaron nodded. "All right, everyone. Listen carefully. We're not just going to fight. We're going to outthink them. Every move they expect, we will turn against them. Trust your instincts, trust your allies, and trust each other. The crew spread out, deploying advanced defensive formations learned from the ancient tower and lessons from the living fortress. The alien companions coordinated with Aaron, predicting enemy maneuvers and suggesting unconventional strategies. Humans and aliens worked together seamlessly, each action calculated yet adaptable. When the battle began, the enemy fleet surged forward with overwhelming force. Energy blasts lit up the void, ships twisted and collided, but the Odyssey moved with unmatched precision. Aaron guided the maneuvers, improvising as the enemy adapted. Humans were unpredictable. They created illusions, misdirected attacks, and used the energy fields of nearby stars as shields. Virel and Kayla's abilities amplified the crew's tactics. They redirected energy flows, disrupted enemy communications, and anticipated maneuvers that no human alone could calculate. The combination of human intuition and alien insight became unstoppable. Hours passed in a tense dance of strategy and skill. The enemy fleet grew frustrated, unable to anticipate the humans' next move. Aaron watched his crew, proud of their courage and creativity. Every human aboard the Odyssey was extraordinary in that moment, rising above fear and doubt to meet the challenge of the galaxy. Finally, Aaron saw an opening, a chance to end the battle without unnecessary destruction. Using the knowledge from the ancient tower, he guided the fleet into a trap. Energy conduits created a field that disabled the enemy ships, rendering them powerless. One by one, the ships surrendered or retreated, leaving the Odyssey victorious. The crew cheered, relief and pride washing over them. Humans had survived impossible odds, faced a fleet that should have crushed them, and triumphed through ingenuity, courage, and unity. Aaron exhaled, feeling the enormity of what they had accomplished. Virel approached him. "You have proven yourselves. Humans are not only survivors, you are protectors, innovators, and leaders." Yaren's faith in you was well placed, Kayla added. "The galaxy will remember this day. Your species has risen above expectation. You have created hope where others would see only despair." Aaron looked out at the stars, feeling a deep sense of pride and purpose. Humans had inherited the gift of Yalren, faced cosmic predators, outsmarted ancient defenses, and defeated a fleet that should have overwhelmed them. But most importantly, they had proven that human courage, intelligence, and spirit were forces to be reckoned with. Sarah Kim smiled beside him. "We did it together," Aaron nodded. "Yes, together. Humans are small, yes, but in spirit, in determination, and in ingenuity, we are extraordinary. And now we will continue to rise, to protect, and to explore. The universe is vast, but so are our possibilities." Virel and Kayla moved among the crew, offering guidance and learning from human creativity in return. The bonds forged in battle and shared experience were stronger than any force in the galaxy. They were no longer simply companions, they were partners in a mission that extended far beyond one planet, one fleet, or one lifetime. As the Odyssey continued its journey, the stars seemed brighter, the universe full of promise and challenge alike. Humans had proven themselves in ways that no one, not even the oldest civilizations, could have expected. They had risen above fear, surpassed limits, and claimed their place among the galaxy's champions. Aaron felt a quiet satisfaction. This was not the end of their journey, but a beginning. The universe would continue to test them, to challenge them, and to push them to the limits of their courage and intelligence. But humans were ready. They were resilient, adaptable, and capable of greatness. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, Yalren's legacy lived on, not just in Virel and Kayla, but in the human spirit itself. The gift of trust, courage, and responsibility had created something far greater than any one being. Aaron turned to his crew. "We are humans," he said quietly but firmly. "Small, yes, but extraordinary. We will rise, and the universe will see what we can do." The Odyssey sailed forward, carrying its humans and their alien allies into the unknown. Ahead lay countless challenges, endless wonders, and infinite possibilities. But one thing was certain: humans had proven themselves worthy of the stars, and they would continue to rise to survive and to inspire hope across the galaxy. The journey had only just begun, and the universe would never be the same again.